Polly and I both appreciate the ways that you and your members have stepped up, especially as Americans, I think, belatedly came to understand in the last couple of years just what an essential worker is, and work that's been going on the whole time that is needs to be recognized and supported in new ways. And I think you put it well in terms of the short clock that we have, but also a lot of opportunity right now. And I say that both in terms of the investment that's going on and in terms of the rulemaking side and what we can get done right now. In terms of the investment, this is actually technically infrastructure week, and we're working to lean into that not being a punchline anymore, but it's really an infrastructure decade. We are at 70,000 miles of road and 4,600 bridges so far that have been identified or launched or set on the path toward getting investment. We're replacing pipelines, we're expanding transit routes, we're modernizing airports. And really what we're doing is testing the productive capacity of the country. And the most important part of that will be building and supporting the workforce that makes all of it possible. And as we do that, creating a lot of good paying union jobs. We've been out on the road celebrating projects with PLAs like the Gold Star Memorial Bridge in Connecticut, the 151-year-old tunnel in Baltimore that we were at with the president recently, the work that's going on in the Port of Los Angeles, and I could go on down the list. And even as we work to get the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act to meet its potential, we also have the FAA reauthorization that we're working together on. A lot of opportunity there, not just in FAA proper, but in aviation writ large, because I think it's a rare moment when Congress and the public have the attention that they do on that from a safety perspective, from a consumer perspective, and certainly from a labor perspective. And then the Railway Safety Act, where I think we have an opportunity, but also need to make sure this doesn't follow the pattern where sometimes after something terrible happens, it fades from the headlines and the political will to do something about it goes away. Progress in the Senate, big opportunity, I think, in the House. Obviously, President's ready to sign good legislation. We're ready to put it to work. And then all of these rulemaking, so many of which we've been in touch on. I know we can dig into that deeper. I really want the balance of the time not to be for a monologue from me, but hear from you. So the only other thing I'll reflect on is just two expressions that ring in my ears. One is when you and I first spoke, Greg, and you said that, in many ways, we're your Department of Labor. And I think about that a lot and the obligations that come with that. And then the second is on one of my first trips when we were talking about needing to invest in infrastructure, and somebody represented workers out there saying, what you talked about as infrastructure is our workplace. And I think about that a lot too. So for all of those reasons, couldn't be a better time for us to be together, and Deputy Secretary and I are here to talk about whatever's on your mind.